You're listening to Bet Big, Talk Loud. Talk Loud. With your host, Chris Hodge and JR.
Welcome to the Bet Big, Talk Loud podcast for Friday, October 10th. I am your host, Chris Hodge. Also got my main man, JR, with me today, and we're going to have some fun today. JR got me in trouble with his wife last week. We'll talk about that in a couple moments before we get to anything else, right? But you got me in trouble with your wife. You got me in trouble with your wife.
Now, you realize,
and I took the bullet for you.
You realize this week I'm not sending her the episode now, right? You understand that.
Good to be with everyone, guys. Last week, 2-0 with the free picks. We'll hope to duplicate that, even though he thinks I cheated. We'll also talk about that as we go along. Thinks I cheated with the Sports Investors Daily Show. But
you did. But go ahead.
Good to be with everyone. Let's get the show started here. Giants-Eagles last night. Giants look good. Your boy Scatterboo. Your boy Scatterboo looked good, man.
And I came in and I looked at you and I said, Scatterboo. And
I'm not sold.
And you come popping off with statistics.
I'm not sold.
And I don't blame. Listen, I'm supposed to be the numbers guy in this relationship, all right?
You are.
and you come running in. I'm like, Scatterboo. And now, mind you, this goes back to when
draft
the
night.
Correct.
Draft night.
And I said, this kid's going to be something. And you're like, he's not even going to get drafted. And if he does,
wait, hold on. I didn't
he's
say he was
going to
get
be
drafted. I said he would get drafted.
And you said he'd be nothing in this league.
Not
and
a featured back. And he's still not a featured back.
And I didn't say he'd be a featured back. I said he'd be a great third down back. The guy runs like a rhinoceros in a china cabinet. I mean, he don't care. Do you remember the X-Men? Who was that one with Juggernaut? The one that had the helmet on his head and would just run through walls? That's what this kid is. Now, he's not going to have a long career. He's going to have some CTE problems.
Oh my God. We got to let the Giant fans have their fun, though. The Giant fans finally beat the Eagles.
I love him. Listen, he made Arizona State relevant. Single-handedly made them relevant, okay? And then he comes, he gets drafted, and he's the underdog story. And you're looking, well, he's 109 in the league.
Yards per attempt. Yards per rush.
And he's third on
fifth. We got to get the numbers right, man.
I don't care. He matters. What matters is he matters.
That's fine.
Emotion matters in the game. I know you're an emotionless guy. We went through this.
Soulless.
And emotionless. You've said it 1,000 times. But
well,
some of us actually, we thrive on feeling. There's a thing that goes through most human beings. It's called feelings.
Really?
And when we get a good feeling, like music makes us feel a certain way. I know it doesn't do it for you. We already went through this, but for certain people, there's a motivating factor to whether it be emotion, whether it be music. We're humans. I know you're an alien, but, we're humans, and we get feelings.
All right, so enough of hearing from him about all this nonsense. We got a great show planned. Former Playboy playmate Jessica Hall will be on with us.
He got ready. He wants to annihilate me.
Oh, no, it's just over your wife. We're going to talk. All right, here. I was going to talk about this later in the show.
I said, you got to think about this shit all week.
I mean, last week.
This is just natural for me.
Right, last week he makes a comment. We had Allison Jordan come on. Last week he makes a comment about how pretty Allison was. Allison's a very pretty girl, okay?
That's not what I even said.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna rehash what you had just to save
because
you.
it wasn't rude. I wasn't trying to be rude.
You weren't rude at all. But your wife thought you were rude, and then this is what the guy did. He threw me under the bus. He was like, Chris tells me to say this stuff. So his wife
did not say that. That's not even what happened. But we got to tell them what actually happened. He said, "I'm going to get rid of JR to make way for somebody way better looking." I said, great. You're getting rid of me for a piece of ass. And somehow, that's the worst thing that I possibly could have done.
To wifey.
Forget about it.
Yeah, she came in,
I can't believe we're even talking about it. The fact we're talking about it, you're going to get me murdered.
Well, forget you. She might come in with the pitchfork for me. But listen, this is all fun games. We will have Jessica Hall on. That's great. She's doing a great job over at girls.gamble.live. They're doing a great job.
Watches this. She's going to tell me, I didn't even make a big deal of it. Okay.
Also visit takenvegas.com. They're doing great, 10 handicappers over there. So lots to talk about here on the show. But before we get to anything with sports, we had this office discussion. And we think this is a funny one. So if you were in jail, life with the possibility of no possibility of parole, would you do that? Would you rather stay in jail, or would you take the chance of trying to escape through alligator-infested waters?
Now, I had parameters for this one when he asked me the question. if you're dropping me in the middle of 150 alligators that are dying of hunger, I know I'm dead. I'm not even taking the chance.
But you're dead in jail anyway.
But if you're like, hey, listen, we're going to go to a bayou in Louisiana where we know that there's gators. They're scattered, though. And now my question was also, how long do I got to go? Are we talking 20 yards? Are we talking 50? Are we talking 2 football fields? How long are we looking at here?
None of this matters to me.
How deep is the water?
None of this
all
matters. No, zero.
If it's knee high and
I'm going.
I could run, right?
No, you got to swim.
I got to swim.
You got to swim.
So that means it's beyond 6.5 feet.
Yeah, you got to swim. I'm going. I'm not. Here's my take on this. If you're in jail for the rest of your life with no parole and you are not trying to escape and every single day, what are you even doing?
Listen, I've never been to prison. I've never even been arrested, but it's not,
I know if I was in jail for life, I'm trying to escape every day.
Like every night you're worried about
alligators, snakes, elephants, lions. I'm going. I'm trying. I'm getting out, man.
The alligator
I'll deal with the alligators.
Again, if it's just a bayou and I got to like crisscross and I could see the eyeballs and get out of the way, maybe. But, if it's like shark infested where they're just hungry as shit, no, I'm not going anywhere near it. No.
I'm trying it, man. I'm taking my chances with the alligators. Maybe I can even reason with them. Reason with a corrections officer? That's no good. I know that. I coach those guys.
That's true.
So that's just a funny thing we were talking about there in the office. There's a lot going on with gambling this week. A bunch of stories came out. The NCAA looks like they're going to let college athletes gamble on professional sports, which that's just a disaster. If you're, I don't agree with that.
That's not a recipe for disaster.
I don't agree with that. But yeah, listen, it's not my call. And I'm pro athlete. Like I always stick up for the athlete. That one, I would not let a pro college athlete gamble until.
How did you feel about kids getting paid before it happened? How did you feel about it?
No, I thought they should get paid.
So did I.
Yeah, I thought they should get paid. I think they should get paid more than they're getting paid.
Actually, I thought the schools were taking too much advantage of their name and all that. And if they weren't such gluttons for it, and they did a little bit more for other students or even for those students, then maybe. But they made it what it is. That's why this is happening. Here's
my issue with that, and it's a little off topic. We weren't going to talk about that part of it, but you're an athlete. Let's just go college football. There's 140 some odd teams, 85 in Division I,
sure.
85 scholarship players. Okay, only 250 of those players are going to go pro. But if you're good enough to play Division I college football and you have those 4 years to monetize your talent, you should be allowed to. So I feel like they should be allowed to do that.
I think it changes the entire schematic in that you got guys that are going to even stay in college who are going to make more money by staying a college athlete rather than going a possibility of getting, league minimum in the NFL. I'm
all for it.
The only, obviously the huge negative is that it's constant transfers. You don't.
That's the rule they got to change.
I agree. I think
that's the rule they got to change.
Once you're in, you should have a contract. That contract could possibly change to the better, but you can't make less. And I think they should get paid no matter what, with injury or not.
And I agree with that. And one transfer, because things could. You're 18 years old. You make a decision. And the decision doesn't go right. Hell, adults make decisions that don't go right. Yeah, you get one transfer, you get one shot.
Not every year.
Like you should get one divorce. Like no. What I mean by that is like don't.
That's called an annulment.
No. Forget that. I'm talking about like your best friend. You go to his wedding. You're in a wedding party. He gets divorced. Right. You gave him a nice gift. Now he gets married again, and you're in a wedding party again, and you give him a nice gift. That's 2. After that, I'm done. If you're on wife 3, don't invite me to the wedding. You ain't getting the gift.
I'll come to the wedding, but I ain't giving you nothing. No, you're out. You're done.
One. I'll give you one divorce.
I give a really good gift when I go to weddings. I'm like,
not on a third one.
Absolutely not.
Of course not.
Even on the second one. How about this one?
The second one I give a nice gift.
Because we're old enough that this is starting to happen. How about you went to the first one and now they're getting married a second time?
Oh, that's nice though. I like that.
I agree.
Yeah, I like that.
But how big is the gift? Is it the same as the first one?
No, I like that. Hey, listen, people made it 25, 50 years. Yeah, the hell, yeah, they get a nice gift. But if my boy, by the way, I have one of these. My boy's about to be on his 3rd wife. He ain't getting a gift. I'm telling him right, you ain't getting a gift. And then don't invite me. I don't even want to be bothered by this. I'll do what I do with your Super Bowl party.
You're just cheap.
That has nothing to do. No, I'm mean.
You are mean.
I'm not cheap. No, I'm not cheap. I am mean.
All right, I did that. That is true. You're not really cheap.
But the thing that's going on, we went off topic there. Right now with gambling it came out, there was a story written this week that a lot of athletes, they're getting a lot of, negative things said to them on social media if they blow a guy's
Do you know
parlay.
how much you cost me?
And I have so many issues with this. One, like, why do you care?
I would love to see the referees' emails.
Oh, I don't even think those things could be public, right?
God.
Like,
Can you imagine if a ref had social media? Oh,
well, you're a professional athlete. See, this is what bothers me about pro athletes, right? You're a bit hypocritical because a lot of you do ads for sports books, and then in the next breath, you'll turn around and say, I don't care about their parlays, but you care enough to take the money from the sports book
no problem.
for advertisement. So that's fine. But I don't understand why the pro athlete, number one, cares what the gambler says. I mean, listen, when we lose a game, you should see our DMs and what happens. I mean,
I would love to be in the conversations with the athletes and their friends now. Because now all the friends are betting, right? In the past, they weren't all betting with Uncle Vinny at the pizza parlor, right? But now,
hey, man, what do you think? You think you gonna cover
guys
this
covering this week? How many phone calls do professional athletes get a week being asked? No, honestly, just seriously, I'm your boy. Come on,
on the down low. On the down low.
I love you, but 7.5?
I think you guys should kill them. I don't know. Now you got the athlete, and then you got a guy going bed.
Their defense is pretty good. 7.5 might be a little much. But I would just love to hear that conversation.
I don't understand why. Like, how mentally weak are we? Like, the athlete was not trying to fail in the game where, even for us last week, and actually I did. I took my TV off the wall. I threw it. I broke it. That's fine. I had to throw everyone out of my house. Everyone got thrown out of my house, which was funny because I did that on Sunday.
I'd be divorced. Can you imagine looking at your family saying, get out?
No, it was get the F out. It was everyone get out.
After, by the way,
Arizona
pulling a He-Man move. Not just ripping the TV off the wall, the bracket, all of
everything.
it. Taken,
Destroyed.
And then looking at your family with that face.
Yeah, out. Everyone out.
Get out.
Yeah. That's what happened. Because the dude from Arizona, I'm so sick of this nonsense.
How did they even come back?
The
That's
guy
my
dropped.
question. Like, did they call you? Is it okay if we
No,
come back?
I got drunk and went to bed, and then I guess they just decided to come in. But no, the guy drops, and we all saw this play with Arizona. Like, I don't give DM the guy who dropped the ball, say, you caught. I don't do that. I just threw my TV off the wall and threw everyone out my house. Like, I don't understand. Like,
You'd be looking up with social media.
And by the way, I didn't even gamble on that game. That was my suicide.
You're so stupid.
That was
You
my
really
suicide
are.
pick game.
It's crazy.
I'm in 4 of them. This guy blew it in one of them, and that was my biggest one, of course.
30 years I've been betting games at the highest imaginable levels. Like,
you never broke
you
a
guys
TV?
cannot imagine the amount of money. How about 1 year? This is a great one, right? So I grew up a Steelers fan. Not that I'm a fan of anybody in this business. You can't be, right? It was a Super Bowl 15 years ago. I think it was Steelers against Arizona.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So my family knows that I'm cheering for the Steelers, but I have about $250,000 coming my way. I have the tickets. It's $250K.
Steelers against the spread.
Correct. Steelers ATS with the under in that game.
Ooh.
Okay. This was the one with Kurt Warner and Ben Roethlisberger and all that, right? So we're watching the game, and Steelers got it. I'm counting the money. There's 6.5, 7 minutes left in that game.
Yeah, that was a big score in fourth quarter.
A lock.
Yeah.
Okay, a lock. You are just. I'm thinking about what am I going to do? Am I going to maybe put
when the heavens open?
I got this whole hot tub idea in the backyard, right? We're gonna. So now the game ends. Obviously, I lose. Right. The Steelers win though. You would have no idea how much money I had on the line. My family is jumping up and down. Woo!
Nah.
Yay! Pittsburgh. They're all wearing Pittsburgh jerseys.
Like, no.
And I'm like, yeah, all right,
Yeah,
great.
yeah, good. I just lost
They got no idea. I just fucking dumped $250,000.
Food stamps next week, boys.
Now, mind you, it didn't cost me $250K.
I understand.
That was just what I would have made had that Super Bowl won and went 2-0. So,
yeah, absolutely.
And you would never know. I've never broken a TV. I've never punched anybody.
Well, I've never punched that. You never punched the wall? Have you even lived if you've broken a TV or punched the wall, thrown a remote?
Not once.
Oh, you're a baby.
But that's why I win poker tournaments. It's called patience.
Forget that shit, man. Poker. I've had enough of that. But yeah, I did.
You can't even win at craps when a guy goes on a 30-minute run.
I have no patience. I have that attention deficit, hyperactivity, whatever they call it.
I don't even know what it is. You got PTSD.
Sitting here for a half hour. Sitting here with you, I got to sit here for a half hour.
Yeah, this is
tough.
PTSD.
Yeah. But I love this, and then I saw this week too, man. Like, these fans, when things, we play well or we do this. Who's we?
We.
Right, you're not we. There is no we. It's they, the team you root
when
for.
the team goes 0-5, is he like, I can't believe we lost?
Well, they say we suck, and I always my son's girlfriend says this all the time. She's a big Islanders fan. She says this all the time. We. I look at them like, who the hell is we? First of all, they're they, and the they doesn't care about the you. So they don't care about you.
Here's the problem with what you're saying. You've never been a fan of any team.
No, I've been a fan. I wasn't a we.
You're not a real fan. You've never been a fan. All the time I know you, there's zero teams that you actually, other than possibly the Yankees, a tiny
I'm
little bit.
I'm not on the team. It's not we. There is no we.
Certain people, when they are enamored with their teams, and they watch their teams, and
use of pronouns,
and
use
they
of
are
pronouns,
dedicated to their team. Yes, it becomes a we situation.
There's no
we.
we.
It
There's
is
no
a
we.
we.
No.
And you know what? No. If you ask the team, I bet you they love it that their fans say we.
Bullshit. Let me tell you something right now. Those players might say it in public, which is they're supposed to do. They're supposed to lie, but in private, they're not saying we. They're saying these fans are out of their minds. They're not. No, that's crazy. Let me get to my free pick. Then we'll get to Bill Belichick, and then we'll get to your free pick.
Okay.
Now, because
you finally went to the well, you pulled one out of the hat.
Yeah, I don't want to hear your nonsense.
We know you did it with the SID games. So, but that's okay. That's all right. We know. Listen, if that's what you need to do to win, I get it, buddy. Don't worry about it. You could do it again.
I'm not doing it again because I don't want to hear your mouth. It's like listening to a girl.
So, guys, whatever he tells you, you might want to bet the other side.
Really? This is what we're going with. Because I'm not the one that wins all these false favorites on Sports and Best Daily every Saturday morning.
Listen, you know what? You blew your nut. That's it. It's gone. It's all your W's. You're going to throw L's out.
Oh,
go ahead.
Florida. Now, I've gone against Florida for most of the year.
Confidently.
I did go against Florida most of the year. I went against them when they played Miami. I went against them when they played LSU. I went with them when they played Texas. So I've been good on or against Florida, so I'm going to stay with it. I don't think Texas A&M, I know they're undefeated. I know they're a good team, and they might win the game. But Florida is, I mean, they're playing well. They had the 5 interception game that lagged way through.
You started off the season telling me how bad this team is.
No, I said they had a very tough schedule.
You also said they look like garbage.
They did look like garbage against a Division II team.
Zero. That was week 0.
Even though they won that game by like 50, they looked like garbage in that game.
You telling me,
but they played
won
well,
50-3, and I'm like, what do you mean they look like?
They didn't look good in that game. That was the first game of the season. I'm going to take them plus 7.5. I think they give Texas A&M all they can handle. Texas A&M did not cover the game against Auburn. They did a couple stupid things in that game. And last week, they got off to a really slow start. Yes, they cover late against Miss State, but I'm going to go Florida plus the points there. We'll get to your NFL pick in just a moment. But speaking of NFL and college, getting a winner in
I know. Too. It's all right.
Bill Belichick. Now, I was screaming about him last year on radio, okay? So I don't know how many of you are going to agree with this or think I'm an idiot, and I don't care either which way, okay? I think Bill Belichick is the most overrated coach
by a long shot. We can agree on something.
Ever.
Yes, by a long shot.
And I'm going to give you facts here and why everyone that was associated with that organization should get on their knees and blow Tom Brady because he's the only reason why any of those coaches did anything well.
It was a plug and play. Legitimately plug and play.
Bill Belichick, without Tom Brady as his starting quarterback in the NFL, his record is 80-100. He's 20 games under.
How about that's 20 games better than I thought it would be? How about that?
He's 20
how
games
bad he is.
Without Tom Brady.
Without Tom Brady.
Wait, he didn't win in Cleveland.
That's why everybody, he's a genius.
No.
The greatest.
No, Tom Brady.
You want to talk about greatest of all time as far as head coaches? We could talk modern day right now, Andy Reid.
Andy Reid's great.
Andy Reid won
great
Donovan
head coach.
McNabb, went to a Super Bowl with him, and then when he got a legit quarterback, all he does is win. That's all he does is win.
I'm with you on that. And then also, the thing back to the Patriots, think of all of their assistant coaches. Now, this one's just off the top of my head, right? Just off the top of my head, they've had no success. Bill O'Brien.
None. That's so true.
Josh McDaniels.
Josh McDaniels, biggest failure ever.
Joe Judge, right? He couldn't even get out of his own way in New York.
Oh, my God.
Let's go with the defensive guys, too, over there. Romeo Crennel.
How about what's his name? The guy who was on NFL Network, his old defensive coordinator, Charlie Weiss.
Charlie Weiss was the offensive coordinator.
Yes, offensive coordinator.
Another guy, Charlie Weiss, failed everywhere. Romeo Crennel failed everywhere. Matt Patricia can't win anywhere. Everyone associated with the New England Patriots that had Tom Brady there literally should thank God that Tom Brady was there. It's the only reason why they have jobs.
That's why he will be and forever the greatest of all time.
The greatest of all time.
It didn't matter who got injured. It didn't matter who left. It didn't matter. No matter who they brought in, like I said, plug and play.
Didn't matter.
How about the fact Randy Moss never won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady? How crazy is that?
That was Eli Manning.
How crazy is that?
Eli Manning to thank for that. But at the end of the day for this, right? Every coach, every one of them, not one has had success without Tom Brady. That's it right there. That's it in a nutshell. And the Patriots had a nice win against Buffalo, but the Tom Brady left and went and won a Super Bowl. He left.
He literally left.
Went and won a Super Bowl.
With Todd Bowles as his head coach.
No. Arians was the head coach there.
Yeah,
I got to come in and help you out there.
Shut up.
Go with your NFL pick, man. Now that you're off a mistake, now I got you really confused.
But all I do is win, and you guys know you can bank on my free
You're doing
pick.
great on your radio shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, the radio show's doing really well.
Listen, Indianapolis Colts have been great.
Here we go.
Why not ride it? I'm surfing, bro. I'm riding the wave. Why am I
At
going to
least
get
I'll
off?
give you some different stuff.
Indianapolis, all they do is score almost every possession. Their offense is incredible. You just talked about you ripped your TV off the wall because of the Arizona Cardinals, which, by the way, going on the road to Indianapolis and Lucas Oil Stadium to take on the Colts, right? Their running game, unbelievable. Jonathan Taylor has been lights out. He could very well, right now, he's the best running back in the game, right? I mean, argue somebody better
Saquon's
right now.
struggling right now. They're not giving him the ball.
Breaking more than 60, 70 yards a game. Hasn't done it in three games.
The kid from Dallas, the kid from Carolina just had a great game.
All right, so you can
One game.
Try to bring up one guy. Jonathan Taylor has been absolutely lights out. I mean, Daniel Jones can actually throw the football now. We could see. Go back to calling him Danny Dimes, right?
It's amazing. Get rid of the Giants.
Listen, you get a running game, and then you got a top 5 defense in the league.
Mm-hmm.
They're just going to keep winning. They're 4-1. They should actually be 5-0. They shouldn't have lost a game. I'm not a Colts fan.
They could have lost to Denver. They lost the game to Denver.
Everything great. Fundamentals are together. Defense, special teams, you name it, they're hyping it, and it's working. It's
so
firing
Indianapolis
up.
Again.
Now buy it down to 6.5. Okay, the line went up to 7.5.
Oh,
I've been giving it out at -7 all week.
Wait a second.
So I went this. You know what? For you, I don't give a shit. Go take it at 7.5 because they're going to steamroll. It's not even going to be close. They're going to win this game by 14 to 24 points. Not even close. But if you're a smart bettor, forget about him making his little faces. Buy it to 6.5. Just be safe.
So just a little backstory here, man. I give out a free pick, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. He's like, you got no confidence in a free pick. And now you're telling people to buy a point.
What happened with that one?
That one lost on the last second field goal. I've lost on 2 50-yard field goals. 2 50 in college.
Here come the excuses.
They're not excuses. They're good
break my
kicks.
TV.
Yeah, well, I was watching the Kansas City game the other night too. My wife
You're lucky
was
this
like,
is your equipment. I would have just jumped up and grabbed the mic and throw. God damn it! Start throwing.
I almost killed the guy here at the office with the ice bucket.
That's right.
Yeah,
you're lucky you're on
guy.
a lawsuit.
The oldest guy here.
Oldest guy in the office.
The oldest guy here.
But if
man.
anyone deserved it.
I hope the workers' comp people ain't listening. the ice bucket got thrown. The top of the ice bucket, it was almost impossible how this happened. The top of the ice bucket flies off the floor, hits the guy in the head, knocks his glasses off. So I might have a temper.
Just a little. Tiny
I don't go after people or dogs. I go after inanimate objects.
You're a little emotional at times.
Yeah, I just get angry at stupid shit, man.
Just,
I have no. You know what?
Figure.
It's funny because we're in football season right now, and he knows this. The one thing that aggravates the hell out of me more than anything is missed layups and free throws in college basketball. Oh, I have no patience for it.
Yeah, actually, you've never broken a TV during football. It's the first time.
Yeah, that is the first time. It was always basketball. Always basketball. So hope you enjoy listening right now. Now we're going to break out. We got Jessica Hall about to come on. We're not even going to get this guy in trouble, okay? Jessica Hall's coming on. She'll be with us in just a moment. So keep it right here on the Bet Big, Talk Loud podcast. All right, welcome back to the Bet Big, Talk Loud podcast. I have Jessica Hall with me. You all know her from Playboy, and there's a lot of other stuff that she does, and she's incredible with it. So Jessica Hall, also on girls.gamble.live. Jessica, it's good to have you on. Thank you for stopping by. I heard you had a little mishap, though. You had a quick surgery. I thought we might have to put this show off for a week, but you are a trooper.
You know what? It was from all the passes I was throwing on the field. Let's
There
just say
you go. There you
that.
go. Well, talk about passes. The most amazing thing, and I know you've done so much in your life, and we'll get to all that. But when you told me that you're on the Legacy Foundation for the Rose Bowl with Warren Moon, that's an incredible accomplishment.
I started with the Legacy Foundation in 2019, and it has been such. I mean, the Rose Bowl. It's so iconic. It's so a lot of people when they think of stadiums, they think of the Rose Bowl, especially for college football concerts, you name it. But yeah, the board is huge, and it's really cool going to my meetings and sitting next to people like Warren Moon and seeing all this like legacy within the foundation is pretty amazing. There are so many fans of college football, and a lot of them that are on the board have either played or attended USC, UCLA. Kenny Chesney is a huge fan. He's done concerts there. Taylor Swift. I mean, it's just massive. I just saw Oasis there a couple weeks ago. That was pretty awesome.
So, and
Tomorrow.
you have the Tournament of Roses. That's always great on New
Oh
Year's Day.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, the college football games alone, like the
Yeah,
vibe when you're there, it's like no other. Plus, the tailgating is pretty
I
amazing.
bet.
I
I,
mean, I thought I was like, down, like, like partying or hanging out or whatever, but tailgating has nothing on me. It is crazy. The biggest ones I've seen are probably Ohio State or Penn State. I mean, they are ready to party, especially when they get to the Rose Bowl, and obviously our weather is fantastic. So, it just brings the joy of everyone
I
out.
mean, you would think Penn State, when they get there, they really got to celebrate because they never really
Oh yeah.
get there. They're just terrible. They just find ways to. In fact, they were just out at the Rose Bowl, and
Yeah, that's why I
they
brought
just
that up. I
lost.
gotta see that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, that's crazy.
But the
You've done.
fans are unbelievable.
I bet you've done so
Yeah.
much with Playboy. We'll talk about that in a moment. But you and I came together also with Allison Jordan, Chanel Maxwell. We'll have Brandy Roderick
Yeah.
on next week, which I'm so excited about. Girls That Gamble.live. And you and I sort of had the same, idea for this website with, obviously bringing pretty girls, mixing it with gambling, right? That's a great thing in and of itself right there.
Oh yeah. I mean, I love sports. I don't know that much about gambling, which thank goodness, because when I go to Vegas, I literally come home broke. So I could it's so great having you on Girls That Gamble.live because hearing all your expertise on it and, putting sports and gambling together, I mean, it's like the best combination.
We always say, the girls, and there's so many of them on there, the networks that you have, the connections that you have. Hey, look, we think we're going to win this game. Or, hey, well, look, we might not play well in this game. It definitely gives the customers an edge when you have that type of information.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I know you enjoy it, but I
Yeah.
love your personality. I love your perspective. I think that it's off to a great start, and I just think it's only going to go up from here. And the Girls That Gamble are definitely, ready to learn more and their love for sports and combine it with the gambling. And who doesn't want to see a bunch of like hot girls too? I mean, from our ball girls to the host, it's pretty good to look at.
Absolutely. And you guys are winning. A couple weeks ago, you went 6-1.
Yeah.
Last weekend,
Yeah.
4-2. You guys are doing a great job.
Yeah.
So
Who do you think's to help with that?
Yeah, I try my best. But listen, I know, look, we got to keep it real. When they log on to this type of podcast, the guys don't want to see me. They want to see you, and they want to see Chanel, and they want to see Allison, obviously Brandy. They definitely don't want to see me. I might help them win money,
Stop.
but they definitely don't want to see me.
You have so much smarts when it comes to, the game and, how to go about and how to obviously win.
I appreciate that. And I love helping you guys out and being a part of it. I think it's going to do great things. Very excited about it.
Yeah.
When we were talking pre-production about, what you did at Playboy, you said so many interesting things to me. And one of them was, and this was a common misconception for me too. I had never met the man, but my idea of him wasn't like he's a great guy, but you said like Hugh Hefner, you said he was a good guy.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of, controversy with that for sure. And I know everyone's experiences are different with everything. But I can only speak from my experience and being up there since I was like 20 years old. And I'm not going to age myself, but I was there, been able to visit and go to the mansion until the very basically last days of his life. And, my best friend is Kendra Wilkinson. And I know a lot of people know her from the Girls Next Door. She, lived there and he walked her down the aisle. I mean, everyone has their own, story when it comes to Hugh Hefner. But in my experience, I really enjoyed it. He was always very respectful. And I mean, what he has built is like no other. I mean, people have tried to duplicate this, but there's like There's like no way they can. Playboy will forever be iconic and legendary.
Especially, with the day and age that we unfortunately live in. You were mentioning this to me with camera phones everywhere. When
Oh,
you were
yeah.
having your parties at the Playboy Mansion, that was just a lot of fun because there was no worry about being caught on a camera phone.
So I think that's what, in the beginning of the 2000s, like, all those parties you hear about, from like the Midsummer Night Dream Party to the Halloween parties to the masquerade, no one had their phones out. And if they even brought like an old school camera, security was like the first to like take it away and be like, we're gonna give it to you at the end of the party. Celebrities and athletes and model, everyone felt very, safe in that regards. Like, and it's not gonna go to TMZ the next day, or,
Right.
there's no like proof of whatever. And it wasn't like there was like crazy stuff going on, but people gotta like live and dance and have fun and get a little tipsy. And I mean, there was the times that I had in the early 2000s at the Playboy Mansion were just, I didn't realize it in the moment what I was actually doing and experiencing. Now that I look back as I'm older, I'm just like, oh my gosh. Not that I took it for granted, but holy cow. Like some of this stuff and the way we got to like live and experience and see. And it just felt kind of normal at the time for, me, being that I already posed for Playboy and I had so many friends in it and I got to go to the mansion when I wanted. But it is definitely something that I will obviously never forget. And to have those memories is like no other.
And I know it
And I
was
know
a
so many people want to know what the mansion's like.
yeah, I mean, every guy, especially around my age, I'm mid 40s, like we grew up like, oh, I wonder what's going on
Yeah.
over there. Now,
Yeah. And
I've been with my wife since I was 19, so I was not trying to go to any Playboy Playmate Mansion,
But
but
that's just it. You can experience it with your wife. My husband came. I can't even tell you how many. It got to a point where I was like, "Hey, God, we're gonna go to the mansion today." He's like, "Oh, again?" And I'm like,
what?
"Are
Really?
you serious right now?" Any man that would hear you say that, but it was just like, it wasn't. If there wasn't big parties though, it wasn't like when you go up on the weekends, like everyone's like making out with each other, everyone's running around naked. I mean, it wasn't to that extent. It wasn't as crazy as I think people thought it was, but don't get me wrong. I mean, the grotto, there is stories for a reason. There is a lot of, craziness and fun that definitely went down. There's a little something for everybody. Let's just say that.
I bet. And you've done so much, man. You've done Prices Right. You've done Deal or No Deal. You're the publisher of LA Living Magazine. You hosted Hot Housewives on Playboy. You were a Playboy like you've done everything.
So,
Like, what was your favorite to do? What'd you really enjoy the most?
you know what I loved? I loved doing, before like the podcast model, I worked for Sirius XM on Playboy Radio. I did 7 years of that. So 5 days a week, and it was 2 hours of nonstop talk. I literally would say I would go in there and I would like black out. I wasn't allowed any dead air time. So some of the stuff I said, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was like probably terrible. Like I
I
can't
know it
even
all the time.
imagine.
I deal with that too.
Oh my God. Do you ever regret sometimes what you say? You're just like, I can't take that back.
No, you
I
know
just
what?
like,
If I say it, I don't apologize. I'm not trying to offend anyone, and I don't go after any
yeah,
groups at all. That's not my personality. But if I say it, I believe it. I'm not going to apologize for it.
yeah.
I hate
Well,
people that walk back their statements. I like just
yeah.
say it, live with it. You know?
Well, I guess it wasn't necessarily statements. It'd be like maybe private information
Oh
that
well,
like,
yeah. My wife might get
like
mad if I
it
say
wasn't like I was
something.
trying to like be politically correct on any level. I just would be like, oh my gosh, it's sometime in the mansion. My husband and we tried to find a spot to have sex in because I wanted to say I had sex at the Playboy Mansion. And he's like, really, Jessica? Like, really? And I was like, I know. But then I got nervous because it got quiet. And then like say I had a guest on that didn't bring anything to the table, and it was live. It was
Man, they didn't
live.
have anyone that went with that. That's like a great setup right there. Like, bro, I
Oh,
just teed you up. Take that.
there would be times where, yeah, the guest would not say a word. Then I'm like, crap, okay. Then I just kept going on and on. And it was like, my husband literally called himself the dead air guy because he was like, you would just bring up the most random information and stuff that probably shouldn't have been shared, but whatever.
Listen, sometimes random is good. When we do our podcast, and this is the Bet Big Talk Loud podcast, we don't script anything. I had a
I love
pre-production
that.
meeting with you, and we just wrote some basic things down. But
Yeah.
none of this is scripted. We come on. If we say something, it is what it is. I like that better. You know why? Because it seems to me it's like authentic. And I'm always trying to come across as authentic. And with Girls That Gamble Live, I want it to be authentic. If we win, we tell you. If we lose, we tell you. I've been like that my whole
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. Well, I also love, yeah, with Girls That Gamble, like the girls that like, I can't be like that. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I said that. I said that when I showed my tits on the internet. Like, well, I mean, come on. like, Jessica, I set the bar already right here. So,
Well, listen, you were a Playboy Playmate or a Playboy model. I mean, if they wanted to
yeah,
find your tits on the internet, they could just type your name in
you
and
know,
there it is.
but you got to remember though, like when I first did that was almost like 20 years ago,
Yeah.
and it's so funny to think now it's there's all these different platforms and avenues, and girls can show way more. And at the time, it wasn't really like that. So we were kind of like the first like to kind of just go out there and be in a magazine or constantly. It wasn't like I just did one shoot. I've only shot nudity for Playboy. But that, yeah, I look back and now I told you in our conversation the other day, when I get fan mail or whatever, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I'm like, damn, I look good. It's all these like old Playboy photos that I'm just like, all right, all right.
It's funny from the time, and I'm not gonna give your age out. You're younger than I am. But I remember when I was growing up, there were like two things for a teenage boy. They were when the Jordans were coming out, when the Jays were coming out, and who was the Playboy Playmate? Like, where's the Playboy Playmate of the month? Who was that? It was like, those are the two things like teenage boys spoke about, like Jordans and Playmates. That was it.
Jordans and Playmate. You know what? That's not a bad thing to talk about.
Absolutely not.
But now, so how do you feel like now it's so different being, with like the OnlyFans and all, even social media, people can put out whatever they want. It's like they're their own brand. They create whatever they wanted. Like to be able to be in Playboy was not easy. There's a lot of girls that wanted to do it. There's a line out the door for, for the castings, and there's so many other, things in Playboy from, they even did like the Pac-10, girls of Playboy. Like there was a lot of different ways to be in Playboy, but if you were, it was like, wow, that's so awesome.
And you and Allison Jordan both said basically the same thing. She said it on the podcast. You said it in pre-production. Like, we've had our moment. We did our thing.
Yeah.
We want to see the young girls come up and have their moment.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, some of them are doing it on OnlyFans in a crazy way, like just insanity. But like, you both said it. Like, we have Chanel Maxwell. She's trying to make a comeback with Playboy, and we think that would be great for her. But you guys both said the same thing. Let the young girls come up and have their moment.
Oh, for sure. I'll just stick to girlsthatgamble.live and continue to work in LA. I live out here in LA, and it's so nice to, just keep on. Yes, it's nice to know that like I started with Playboy, but like with the doors that it even opened, like it's so awesome if you continue to hustle and continue to work. Like there are so many other ways to work in this business. I don't have to take my clothes off all the time, I guess.
There you go. Now
I laugh at that.
You said something where I forget which one you mentioned, but you said you had missed an opportunity with a podcast a few years back, and you're like kicking yourself over that one. Like, you had a great opportunity, and then you just didn't think it was going to blow up the way it did.
Well, it's so hard going from a job for 7 years, 5 days a week on SiriusXM and getting, the same paycheck, and, being able to go to the SiriusXM studios in New York and, play off each other's, different shows from Howard to, I can't remember half the ones I did. But they did say like, hey, there's this like podcast model, you should try. And I'm like, why? So I would go to that, and I wouldn't go to this nice plush studio and get to, I'm so mad I did not take that jump. I really, because my show was a lot similar to like Call Her Daddy, like nothing was off limits. It's Playboy Radio. I had every trucker from the East Coast to the West Coast listening.
Oh, you had it.
It was great. It was a really good time. But you know what? That wasn't my path. But I had a really good time doing SiriusXM for sure.
Man, that's awesome. And listen, we have big plans for this podcast, and you guys are helping me out. I know I'm doing what I do with over at girlsthatgamble.live, and I would love to have all of you come on. Maybe we could do like all of you on at one time, and that'd be great. I know we got Brandy Roderick. She'll be with us next week, so we're really excited about that as well. But it's been so nice to get to know you, especially this week with the pre-production. And I know girls.gamble.live. I'm really excited about that. I know I said that about 10 minutes ago. I'm really excited about that website. I think that website's going to really transform a lot that we do in our industry. And before I let you go, I know you are, the publisher of LA Living Magazine. Just take a quick moment, tell what you're doing with that.
Yeah, you know what? I've been in LA pretty much my whole life, and there are so many great things that happen around here, from events to just publicizing different celebs and influencers and places and restaurants and sports and stadiums. And, it's just basically an all around, like, what's going on in LA, what is so like luxury and iconic of it. Everyone has their own, perspective of what LA is, but this like really tells you like just the stuff that's going on in the everyday life of someone that lives in LA. And we had Jenny McCarthy on the cover last month. We have Allison Holker this month. Ryan McPartlin, like just a lot of great humans that are being able to get on there, tell their story, and it's been really cool to like transition from being modeling to now like writing and being a publisher. It's pretty amazing. It really is. And then on the side, I'm sitting here talking sports on Girls That Gamble.
That's great. And
Yeah.
I love it. And like I said, when you first came on, man, I mean, I do these podcasts, I do my shows, I work my rear end off, but I don't know if I had surgery yesterday. I don't know if I would have done this. I was texting you like, hey, you sure you want to come on?
Yeah.
It just shows like men are babies. My wife says this all the time. Like when I get sick, I'm down for like 5 days. My wife gets sick. I expect her to take care of the house.
What's that saying? There's no sign for the week, or there's no, like I said earlier, I do hustle. Like I like to be busy. I thrive off it. It makes me super excited. And, talking to you the other day, I totally connected with you. I love your morals, your values, what you want to do. I hope this podcast is so successful, as I know already is, but even more. Your help with Girls That Gamble has been so great. And just literally having you on and giving your expertise has just benefited us so much. So I love that. It's like helping out everyone and watching everyone succeed, because there's room for all.
Absolutely. And one of the things I love when guys that gamble, not girls, I like when guys that gamble make money. I mean, it's a great feeling for me, like trying to help them win to the best of my ability. We don't win every game. No one ever said we did. But, if we can make, a guy out there that's working 40 to 50 hours a week, make an extra 400 or 500 a week that helps him, that's great. So that's what we try to do. Yeah. So, and then on your end, hey, they get to look at very pretty girls. So that's awesome. But that's
it's a win-win.
It's a win-win. So Jessica, thank you. Jessica Hall, thank you so much, man, for coming on, spending some moments with us here. It was great to have you. And I'm definitely so excited to continue working with you on girlsthatgamble.live.
Yes. And make sure to follow us on Instagram as well.
You have a great day, Jessica. Thank you.
You too.
All right, that's going to wrap up the Friday, October 10th edition of the Bet Big, Talk Loud podcast. Hope you enjoy listening to us. We love that interview with Jessica Hall. What a great thing she's doing over at girlsthatgamble.live, former Playboy Playmate. So easy to talk to, as you noticed. JR stayed with the Colts. Hey, listen, if it wins, it wins, and I hope it does. But we got to talk to this guy about trying to give you guys some different picks. I went with Florida, so hopefully we're 2-0 again, like 2-0 last week. Be sure to check out takenvegas.com as well. Also, girlsthatgamble.live. And if you want some free picks for the weekend in football, you can always give us a call at 888-9-WIN-NOW, which is 888-994-6669. Sports Investors Daily will air tomorrow morning, starting at 7 on the East Coast, right through noon, all across the country. So be sure to check that out. We'll also be on Sunday, and we have a great show lined up for the weekend. So again, thanks for listening to the Bet Big, Talk Loud podcast. It's Friday, October 10th. Win some money this weekend, and we'll catch you back next week. Have a great weekend, everyone.